Okay, so imagine this. It's 3:17 a.m.
Such a specific time.
Right, on a random Tuesday. You're dead asleep, and then suddenly your eyes just snap open.
Ah.
But you're not waking up to a car alarm or, your phone buzzing. You wake up because you hear a symphony.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a song stuck in your head. I mean you physically hear cello notes vibrating through the floorboards.
That's incredibly vivid and, frankly, terrifying.
It gets worse. You can hear violin strands like weaving through the air in your room. The music is coming from inside the walls. Or even weirder, it's coming from inside you.
And that's a beautiful and haunting way to start because for the subject of our deep dive today, that wasn't a hypothetical. That exact moment, 3:17 a.m., was the beginning of an unraveling.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are tackling a story that honestly feels like sci-fi, but it's grounded in the really fragile mechanics of the human brain. We're diving into the source text, the harmonic mind, and the story of Elara Vance.
And this case is just fascinating because it forces you to ask these really uncomfortable questions. Where does profound creativity end and mental instability begin?
Exactly. Is the brain this architect of genius, or is it a saboteur? And Elara Vance isn't just some abstract case study. She is a 28-year-old tenured music theory professor at Princeton.
Right.
Can we just pause on that? 28 and tenured at an Ivy League school. I think I was still trying to figure out how to use my microwave at 28.
It's an insane level of achievement, but it's also crucial context.
Yeah.
She's a Juilliard grad. Her specialty is mathematical patterns in Renaissance music. So this is not a chaotic artist stereotype.
No, not at all. This is a highly disciplined, logical mind.
She finds order in everything, which is what makes her breakdown so ironic.
That's our mission for today. We're going to unpack how that incredibly structured mind tried to process something it couldn't control. We'll look at her rise, her collaboration with a quantum physicist.
Which is where things get really wild.
Oh, yeah. And then her descent into psychosis, and finally her recovery. It's a story about music, math, and the brain's ability to kind of pull a fast one on itself.
And what's so compelling is that her breakdown wasn't chaos. It was hyper-ordered. It wasn't a lack of pattern. It was an overwhelming surplus of it.
So let's get into it. Section 1, the resonance. Elara is at Princeton. She's a genius. And then the music starts. 3:10 a.m.
Right. And at first, she does what any academic would do. She tries to rationalize it.
Stress, right, burnout.
Exactly. She thinks maybe it's a hypnagogic hallucination. Those sounds you hear right as you're falling asleep.
Sure, I've had that. You hear a loud bang or something and jolt awake.
It's just a misfiring of neurons. Very common.
Right.
But for Elara, it didn't stop. The hallucinations started bleeding into her waking life, specifically into her conversations.
Okay, this part from the source material really stuck with me. The scene with her student, Maya Chen.
Yes.
Maya's just talking about a paper, but Elara isn't just hearing words anymore, is she?
No. She's experiencing something we could call structural synesthesia. Now, usually you hear about people seeing colors with music. For Elara, it was mathematical.
So when Maya says the word frequency...
Elara literally hears a pure sine wave in her mind. A smooth, perfect tone. The word timbre becomes a cluster of complex overtones. Language itself is being translated into harmonic data.
That sounds, kind of amazing. Terrifying if you can't turn it off, but still, like a superpower.
It sounds romantic, I know. But imagine the cognitive load. You're trying to have a normal conversation, but your brain is constantly running this secondary audio translation.
Yeah.
It's utterly exhausting.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like her brain's firewall is just gone.
And right in the middle of all this, she meets Dr. Leo Thorne. And this changes everything.
The new hire in the physics department, specializing in quantum acoustics.
A fascinating field.
Okay, can you break that down for us? Because quantum acoustics sounds like something out of a comic book movie.
Well, in simple terms, quantum acoustics is looking at vibrations at the subatomic level. The theory is that sound, or at least vibration, might be a truly fundamental property of all matter.
So he's looking for the music that holds the universe together.
In a way, yes. He's trying to prove that at the very bottom of reality, everything is humming.
So you have a musician who finds math in music, and a physicist who finds music in matter.
It's a dangerously perfect match for two obsessive minds.
And the text describes their first meeting so well. It wasn't a romantic spark. She describes the feeling of being near him as a perfect fifth interval.
That detail tells you everything about her state of mind.
What does that mean, a perfect fifth?
It's the most stable, most consonant interval in Western music. Think of the first two notes of Twinkle, twinkle, little star. It's clean, the frequency ratio is a perfect 3.2, it feels resolved.
So to her, he felt stable.
Exactly. In a world that was becoming sonically chaotic, he represented order, and he asked to collaborate with her. They start filling chalkboards with equations, translating musical harmony into quantum probabilities.
They called it audible math. So let me ask you, what is happening in her brain here? Is this intense work helping her focus, or is it making things worse?
That's the tragedy of it. It's
Yeah.
fuel. Her brain is already in this state of hyperconnectivity, and now she's feeding it these complex, abstract concepts that literally link sound to the fabric of reality.
She's validating the hallucination.
She's giving her psychosis a sophisticated academic framework to build upon.
And build it does. Which brings us to section 2, the muse and the monster. The hallucinations stop being just background noise.
They get colorful, literally. Leo's voice starts to look like a warm amber glow. Her sensory processing is completely cross-wired now.
And then the biggest development, the hallucinations get a voice. Enter Alistair.
Ah, yes, Alistair.
And he's not a sound, not a color, he's a person. A smooth, cultured voice in her head who says he's a composer from another time. And the weirdest part, at first, he's helpful.
That's the insidious nature of this kind of psychosis. Alistair isn't some monster, he's a muse. A collaborator. He's giving her brilliant suggestions for her big composition.
And not just for the music. This is the part that blew my mind. He gives her a tip for Leo's physics research. He tells her about the inverse relationship between entropy and melodic development.
And when she tells Leo that, it actually helps solve a problem in his data.
Okay, so how? How is that possible? Is she psychic? Is Alistair real?
No, nothing like that. It's a testament to the incredible subconscious processing of her own brain. She has been absorbing Leo's work for weeks. Her conscious mind maybe can't make the leap.
So her subconscious creates a puppet to say it for her.
Exactly. It's a dissociation of her own genius. Her mind creates this persona, Alistair, to deliver an insight that she already had. It's a way to bypass her own self-doubt.
So she's so smart, her imaginary friend is a quantum physicist? I mean, my inner monologue just reminds me that I forgot to buy milk.
Well, be careful what you wish for, because this helpful phase, it doesn't last.
Right. The hallucinations start to sour. Alistair's tone changes.
It's the nature of the illness. As the brain chemistry gets more imbalanced, paranoia sets in. The helpful guide becomes a paranoid protector. He introduces this idea of the consonants.
It sounds like something from a thriller novel, a secret society protecting musical truths, and they're watching her.
And this is when the visual hallucinations start. She sees watchers, shadowy figures in the library, outside her apartment.
And she starts suspecting everyone, even her student, Maya, who's just being kind to her. She thinks Maya is a spy.
It's tragic. The paranoia isolates her completely. Her brain is trying to protect this secret knowledge she thinks she has, so it turns everyone who tries to help into an enemy.
Which leads us to section 3, the crescendo and the crash. Her big compositions, Symmetry's Echo, is due, and it's become this monster of a project.
It's not just for a regular orchestra anymore. It now includes quantum tone generators that Leo built for her, designed to produce frequencies beyond human hearing.
She's trying to make the real world sound like her internal world, right? She wants everyone else to hear it, so she knows she isn't crazy.
Exactly, to externalize the internal.
And the people around her finally realize how bad things have gotten. We get this intervention scene. Leo, the department chair, a psychiatrist.
And for Elara, this is the breaking point. When they tell her Alistair isn't real, she doesn't hear concern. She hears conspiracy.
An agent of the consonants.
Precisely. She screams at them to get out, and she locks herself in the university concert hall. She's in there for 20 hours straight, just writing.
That part is so intense, the text calls it a feedback loop. The music in her head is getting louder as she writes it down, and Alistair is just screaming instructions at her.
She's not sleeping, not eating. She's purely a vessel for this overwhelming sensory storm. She is transcribing her own breakdown.
And when Leo finally gets in and finds her, it's just heartbreaking. He looks at the sheet music she's been writing, and what does he see?
It's chaos. To an outsider, at least. It's not standard notation. Staff lines are blended with physics equations. Quantum symbols have replaced time signatures. It's a visual representation of her two worlds colliding.
But then comes the moment that it floored me. Leo is trying to reason with her, and the truth about Alistair finally comes out.
This is the emotional core of the whole story. She admits Alistair wasn't some spirit. He was her childhood imaginary friend.
I just did not see that coming.
He'd gone away when she grew up, and he came back when the music started.
It's not some cosmic horror. It's just profound loneliness, isn't it?
It's regression. Her mind, under all that pressure, reverted to a childhood coping mechanism. And that realization that the voice of the universe was just the voice of a lonely kid. It shatters the delusion.
She realizes the music is eating her alive.
And she agrees to be hospitalized.
So we move to section 4. Silence, recovery, and redemption. She gets a diagnosis. Schizoaffective disorder with musical hallucinations.
Which fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But the treatment, that's the complicated trade-off. The medication works. It quiets Alistair, gets rid of the watchers, but it also silences the music.
All of it.
All of it. And this is a very common struggle. The medication dulls the brilliance along with the terror. She describes her new world as quiet, but also flat, empty, like going from IMAX to a tiny black and white TV.
A year goes by, she's back teaching small seminars, and then the university decides to premiere Symmetry's Echo.
Which is a huge twist. A committee looked at that chaotic score she wrote, and once they decoded her system, they realized it wasn't madness, it was a masterpiece.
So she's in the audience, terrified that hearing the music will trigger another episode, but instead...
Instead, she has the ultimate aha moment. The music works, it's brilliant, and then, in the third movement, she hears it.
The hallucinations.
The exact melodies, the themes played by the strings and woodwinds, they are the very same melodies she was hearing in her head all along.
So wait, that changes. That changes everything.
It changes the entire interpretation.
It means she wasn't just hearing random noise. She was hearing her own composition before she'd even written it down.
Precisely. Her brain wasn't just malfunctioning, it was creating. It was composing a symphony so complex that her conscious mind couldn't handle it, so it projected it as an external sound. She was subconsciously transcribing music her own mind was desperate to create.
That's incredible. And the final detail, that the last movement features the exact violin phrase she heard that very first night at 3:17 a.m. It's a perfect circle.
It recontextualizes the whole experience. The madness was her creative process, just turned up to a volume that blew the speakers.
So how does she end up? Is she cured?
Well, cured is a tricky word. The source text shows her in a new normal. She still hears musical whispers now and then, a cello melody under the sound of traffic.
But she doesn't fight it anymore.
No, she integrates it. She treats it as source material, just like birdsong, as she says. She's composing, again, smaller things, a piece called Quiet Mind. She's learned to harmonize with her own brain.
That's such a powerful message. It's not about silencing the mind, but learning to listen to it safely.
And realizing that the brain can disguise its own brilliant output as something foreign, something other.
Which brings us to our final thought. Elara's subconscious wrote an entire symphony without her permission. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What brilliant ideas or solutions or even masterpieces are locked away in the background noise of your own mind, just waiting for you to learn how to listen.
And hopefully you won't need a hallucination to finally hear them.
We certainly hope not. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.